Hello.
Hi, is this Kenny?
This is Kenny.
Kenny,
What's
good
up?
morning. Hi, good morning. My name is Fred. I'm calling from the Fred Show, the morning radio show, and I have to tell you that we are on the radio right now, and I would need your permission to continue with this call. Can we chat for just a minute? You can hang up anytime.
Sure. Yeah.
Well, thank you.
What's up?
No, thank you very much. We're calling on behalf of a woman named Maya. I guess you guys met out, and you've been on a couple of dates. I hope you remember Maya.
Yeah, I remember her.
Okay, so what happened? Because we just spoke to her, and she had nice things to say about you and told us how you met and that you've been on 3 dates, and then she stopped hearing from you, and you stopped responding to her, and she wants to know how you go from, 3 good dates, in her opinion, to now you don't talk to her at all. So what's your side of the story, if you don't mind?
Sure. So, I really liked Maya. We went out 3 times, and the issue is I feel like she's kind of playing games with me, and I really started to not like it. So I don't know what she told you guys, but let me just start with this. Before the first date, she called me and told me something that was really important, I guess, for her at the moment. She said she wanted to tell me that she had some previous failed relationships, and she changed a lot recently and really came back into her faith, and she decided she was going to be celibate until she got married.
Okay, so she told you this before the first date, which I mean, that seems kind of like a lot of information to lay on somebody before you've met. However, I suppose she's setting boundaries early, so there's no confusion.
Yeah, and I really actually respected it because, she wanted to let me know so neither one of us were wasting our time if that was an issue. And honestly, it wasn't really an issue. I didn't think about it, but I thought that's okay. I respected it. I actually admired that was something she really cared about. So that was fine. And the date was really great, honestly. It was amazing, really. So we had a really great time, and she invites me back to her place, so we go back to her place, and I liked going into it knowing that, sex was off the table. So it was supposed to be, in my mind, kind of less pressure. That's what I thought. Except when we got to her place, she was all over me. She was incredibly physical. We started making out, and she very clearly and repeatedly was trying to take things further. And, I know she was tipsy. We'd been drinking, and I didn't want to do anything that she was going to regret the next day. So
look at this guy. What a gentleman.
Out of respect to her, I left.
Yes.
What a gentleman. Yes. I mean, I don't think I've ever said what a gentleman in the history of waiting by the phone.
Probably not.
But so you were taking into consideration what she had told you ahead of time, and we all respect that she laid out those boundaries, and then and she'd been drinking, so maybe there was fewer inhibitions. So you're trying to sort of moderate this because she had told you none of no shenanigans.
Right, exactly. And I don't know her well enough to the point where I can't take her at her word. I'm trying to take her at her word here. And so the next 2 times we went out, she did the exact same thing. And so look, I'm going to spare the details, but, she was very clearly trying to take things further than just making out. And so, our last date we went on, she stayed over, and she was trying to escalate things. And, she may be, celibate, but, I'm not. And, of course, I was getting, turned on and into this, but this was... it's just bizarre. And so to make matters, worse, after every date, she would make up, some kind of comment about how I was trying stuff or I was getting a little handsy, which I wasn't. She's the one that was escalating everything. And so I feel like she's lying to me or lying to herself.
I kind of don't blame you here. So your issue is that she was telling you what she wouldn't do, and you're, as a decent human being, you're expected to respect that, but then she would push it every time, and then even sort of almost mock you about it. Let me bring Maya in, because Maya's on the phone, and I got so caught up in the story, Kenny, and I forgot. I'm so forgetful about it. But Maya's here. She's heard that. Maya, what is your take? Because this guy is saying you're kind of playing games with him, and his issue is...
she's here? She's on the line?
Yeah. So, yeah.
Sorry about that.
Yeah. Whoops.
I can't believe that you would tell, like, my business to everyone.
Well, now, in fairness, really Maya, now hold on. You called the radio station and you called the show and you wanted us to get to the bottom of this. So anything is fair game. And you had to know.
A lot. He really made me look bad. And like, I'm really surprised that he would share such intimate things that I shared with him, because I thought that we were going to have a relationship just with people that he's never met before.
I actually thought he was pretty vague, honestly. I think he could have probably gotten into more detail. But let's get to the point here, Maya. Like, he says that you laid out limits and then pushed the limits and then almost kind of like made fun of him or accused him of then pushing those limits. And on his end, so what is your take here? I mean, you heard everything he said. You're celibate, but then you were making a move while you were drinking. So what's he supposed to do with that?
I mean, I understand that he's a guy and that, like, it's hard for him to, like, resist, but...
Sounds like it was hard for you to resist.
Yeah, why are we putting this on him? Like, I feel like you need to take some ownership here if what he's saying is true. Were you guys progressing physically on your dates, Maya?
I mean, was he handsy? A little bit.
Were you handsy, too? I'm just curious. Is this only one-sided? Like, is what he's telling us completely a lie?
I would say I was affectionate. I don't think I would say that I was aggressive. I wouldn't say that I, like, was escalating things. I would just say that I was affectionate.
And Kenny, you disagree with that assessment. You're saying she was the one driving.
That's right. Guys, if she this is entirely because of the premise that she told me at the beginning of this entire thing, before we even went on the first date. Why do you call? If you tell me you're saving yourself, I am trying to respect that, but I'm not going to have someone all over me and then say I was the reason they broke that vow.
I didn't break any vow, so...
Were you sending mixed signals? Is it possible?
You're trying to get me to progress with you when you explicitly... It feels like you're testing me. Like you explicitly told me before we met up that you don't want to go there and do that. And then who's the person driving us toward that is you. And so, yeah, I left it in the first day. I left pretty quickly because I wanted to have some discretion and to protect you that, you know, and respect what you wanted and what I thought you said. And so it's three times this has happened now. And you're trying to do it again on the radio right now.
Is there any truth to this, Maya?
I'm just saying, if you can't handle a woman touching you, just touching you without escalating it, then that's not my problem.
Girl, are you a freaky frog or not?
Right.
Like, let's just be adults about it.
Are you really celibate?
Yes.
Okay, I guess that what we're not getting on the same page with here, what I'm not sure we're going to is who was aggressive. He's saying you were sort of pushing him. You're saying that he was pushing you. I don't know what to believe because you're each telling a totally different story. So I don't know that we're going to get to the bottom of it because you each feel a certain kind of way. So look, I mean, now you understand where each other is coming from. Is there a world where you go on a fourth date and now everyone understands no touchy-touchy?
I'm sorry. I just don't think I can do this. I really liked the idea of going out with Maya, but this is not. This is. I'm sorry, Maya. I think you really are kind of just lying to yourself a little bit here. I don't think that you have things kind of straightened out for yourself. So until that changes, I think I'm out. Because
I'm not saying
you're lying. You probably feel guilty, honestly, on some deep level, and I can't. I don't want to deal with that. I'm sorry.
I'm not saying Kenny is 100% right, but what I can tell you is the blurry boundaries here would make me very nervous.
Yeah.
And so regardless of who's telling the truth, the fact that they can't tell the same, they're not on the same page, I'm not comfortable with that either. So anyway, Maya, it's not going to work out. He doesn't want to go out again. There's your answer, whether you agree or don't agree. You know, again, I think everyone thinks they were respecting boundaries and they weren't, but I don't know what to tell you. I wish you guys both the best of luck, though.